Greetings, this is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? Is Jay-Z the daddy? That's the question. Boy, oh boy, he had lyrics. He had lyrics that said, now they want to do your boy like Mike in his prime. Billie Jean, the goddamn boy ain't mine. He said that on American Gangster. Then on the Carters, or the Carter album, I'm not sure, let me make sure. Yeah, the Carters, he said, Billie Jean in his prime for the 1000th time, the kid ain't mine. Now we have Mr. Satterthwaite. He's claiming that Jay-Z is his father, allegedly. Rymir Satterthwaite. He says, this is coming from Hot New Hip Hop. Before Rymir's mother's death in 2019, she alleged to have had a sexual relationship with Jay-Z back in 1992 when he was 16 and he was 22. When she initially attempted to make Jay get a paternity test, a Pennsylvania court shot the man down, knowing that her son was already over 18 years old at the time. According to the state law, she would have had established paternity before then. So he's bringing up all this stuff, after the fact. I'll continue. The paternity drama is far from the only legal trouble Jay is facing right now. A woman recently amended a previous lawsuit she filed against Diddy and to accuse Jay of also allegedly raping her at a party in 2000. She was just 13 years old at the time, but artists have already denied the allegation. So you have that. Tony Busby is on Jay-Z, like right on rice and a paper plate in a snowstorm. Got that from Major Payne. Didn't really want to laugh, but I just thought that was funny. But yeah, so Jay is... They had to take down the giants. They have to take down the giants. They have to take down the people that are most, powerful, most impactful in this culture or this genre of hip hop and the culture at large. The American culture, you can say. These men of color who came from nothing, who came from basically the slums of New York City and made good. They made good for themselves. Okay, Rubano. I don't know what the rest of that is. Hi, hello, salute. It's a party already. There's 12 people in here. I'm not mad. But yeah, so this is the second claim. There was an original claim back in 2007 or 2006, I think, and was of Chanel Scott's 9-year-old son, said to be his $1 million baby. Is a lot of things have happened. It says man retracts Jay-Z love child with Trinidadian model Chanel Scott story. It was retracted, so that was deaded. But this one's still alive. This one's very much still alive and ongoing. Hova has got to, lawyer up. He's gonna have to lawyer up, definitely. LJC, was that the chair squeaking, or did you just let out some? No. That's definitely the chair squeaking. I have to get some oil on. I don't even know where to put the oil, but it has to be put on there somewhere. So it says that Jay-Z is facing another lawsuit, this time from Rymir Satterthwaite, who alleges to be the 31-year-old illegitimate son of the legendary rapper. According to MailOnline, Rymir lists Satterthwaite, his late mother Wanda, and his guardian Dr. Lillie Coley as plaintiffs in the case. Rymir claims Jay-Z acted fraudulently during prior paternity tests. In turn, he argues that plaintiffs' legal rights were violated through fraudulent court actions, including seal records, wrongful sanctions, and obstruction of their legal proceedings. If I'm Jay, I'm moving to Bali. I'm going with Russ. It's not going to get any better from here on out. Move your family out the country so they can't see where you stay. like his former brother I guess, I don't know if they're still close anymore, but Ye has said, you know, I moved my family out of the country so you can't see where I stay. That's what that's what Jay needs to do. Take Blue and Beyonce and Sir and Rumi, take them all to Bali and just live a wonderful life. Live a beautiful life. It's not gonna be like an American life, but nobody said you had to be, you know, an American in body if you're an American in spirit. That's the facts. Says before Rymir's mother's death in 2019, she alleged to have had. Okay, that's it. That's it. She let me see. Tony Busby has filed a new lawsuit against Jay's company, Rock Nation. So he's going after the company, not just the individual. He accuses the company of violating various state laws, including barratry, if I said that correctly, if I pronounced that right, and impersonation of a public official. I have no idea how that even equates, but okay. He announced the move in a statement on Wednesday, writing, "Let me be clear. We will not be bullied or intimidated. The defendants this time overstepped, got sloppy, and stupidly got caught at their illegal scheme on tape. We have reported this conduct to the authorities and intend to cooperate with the authorities to ensure all involved are prosecuted to the full extent of, under Texas law. Be on the lookout for further." Okay. So that's what it is. All right, here he is, Mr. Rick James. Jay-Z is my daddy. Fact. I say salute to you, sir. It's the iconic Skylar Saunders, he's missing the S, seeing show. Always seeing what's new. Exactly. What's current. Exactly. I appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's too messy. It's too messy. He's got to go with Russ. I think he's cool with Russ. I think they were, you know, I don't know if they were best buddies or friends, but I'm sure they know each other. They've seen each other. They've met each other. They have a mutual understanding. You know, Russ, this is not alleged. He liked the young women. You know, Kimora Lee, I think, was like 16 or 17 when they were married, and he was like in his mid-30s. So that is the reality that is apparent now. So I got 5 likes, 2 people watching. I need 200,000 people watching, and 5 likes, 5,000 likes at least. Tell a friend. Don't just come into the live chat. Tell at least 5, 6 people about this channel, and then I can grow even more. So if you like the content, tell somebody about it too. You know, don't keep it to yourself. Say you wouldn't tell nobody, but you couldn't keep it to yourself. But yeah, Jay is a businessman, business, comma, man. He's not a businessman. He's a business, comma, man. He is the ultimate hustler. Not, you know, to step on Dame Dash, but I mean, Jay built another Hove in a sense. He got J. Cole on a pedestal. He got him on a level. Dame didn't do that. Dame almost did it with Currency, but Currency is too boring. Currency may have bars, but his delivery and his flow and his voice, it's just like, it's too much. It's too much to take. So he's more of a business than a man. Exactly. That's what he's saying. That's what the business, comma, man means. He's a business within himself. I mean, I saw the breakdown. They said, you know, Rock Nation, Monogram, Duce. I can't remember which site it was, but they had the whole breakdown of all his businesses. Here we go. Rock Nation, Duce, Brooklyn Nets, Tidal, 4040, Armand de Bergenat. Like I said, Monogram, Cash Investments, Uber. He has multiple businesses that he has. That's the reason why he's worth $2.7 billion. He has complete control over his masters and his publishing. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And he hasn't fallen yet. He's teetered a little bit. He might have stepped a little, off a little bit. But they haven't brought him down yet. They haven't brought him down. Like, Diddy's pretty much down. Diddy's down. Sean Carter is not down. Sean Combs is pretty much down. He's down for the... He's innocent, and he still has a trial to go through, but he's in detention right now. Sean Carter's not in detention right now. So he has every ability to right these wrongs, and if he writes these songs. But seriously, it really is, mind-bending, to even consider, Jay-Z being a part of all this and being swept up into this. And they're reaching. Before it was the woman, in the case, which was criminal charges, but they were taken as civil suits. What is that about? How does that even make sense? How do you have a civil suit when the whole issue was about you being charged with a crime? Sexual assault and rape are crimes. Those are crimes against an individual. So I don't understand. And that's what Jay-Z made. He made plain. He made it very plain. He said, why are you suing me in a civil suit when these are criminal charges? It's like, step forward and be heard. Let it be known. Say it with your chest, is what he's saying. I can't really say it with my chest. I'm trying to speak as softly as possible. I think if Jay has the ability to fight, I think he'll be able. He will fight. He's got the best lawyers in the game. He's gonna have better lawyers probably than Diddy. They're gonna get him out. All this is just hoopla. Like this happened. Like I said, in the mid 2000s with the model Chantel, I think her name is. Maybe it's not Chanel. Excuse me, not Chantel. Chanel Scott. He said, the goddamn boy ain't mine. He's like, just like Billie Jean. He's like, he's not mine. He said it twice. He emphasized it on both occasions, different songs. He had an American Gangster and Heard About Us, the Carters. So I think that's what is driving all of this. I think that's the power behind all of this, is the fact that Jay-Z is such a man of wisdom and integrity. It seems, just through his music, he said he's been real all his life. To confuse him with conceit, try to help him cheat, something like that. That's the power that he wields. $2.7 billion is, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of money. That's a weird thing to say. It's a strange thing to say, but that's not a lot of money. When you have people like Mark Zuckerberg and Michael Bloomberg and Larry Ellison and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, who have hundreds of billions of dollars, they can look at 2.7 billion like, spent that on my yacht last year. $2.7 billion? What? It's nothing. I can spend that in a weekend. But it is something. It obviously is something. $2.7 billion is still a whole lot of money. Like, it's just, we live in a culture that everything is more, bigger, faster. And a good thing, in a way that is a good thing. We want to be ambitious. We want to have strength and ability and everything of that nature. But we also have to realize that, if you have $100 million, that's a lot of money. If you have $1 million, that's a lot of money. If you have $500,000, you have a lot of money. Just like on just cash, not even like assets, but because that's how much they have on cash probably. Like they have about $4 or $5 billion of cash, $10 billion cash, but for the most part, they have their money tied up in assets. So I'm getting this from Rap Genius. Billie Jean is one of Michael Jackson's most famous songs, and is about a woman who spends the night with Michael and then claims he is the father of the newborn son. Michael repeats the lyric, "But the kid is not my son," throughout the chorus. After first coming forward in July 2016, aspiring rapper Rymir Satterthwaite resurfaced in May 2018, claiming that he's Jay-Z's son. Rymir's mother told the Sun she met Jay in 1992 in Philadelphia and hooked up with him at her aunt's apartment in Brooklyn, New York. It's messy, child. It's messy. Because he came up in 16, 18, and 24. Okay, so it's every 2 years and every 6 years. I just now I'm thinking about what is Beyonce thinking? What is she going through? What is she like? You know what? He cheated on me. That's a fact. I'm not just saying that. He actually cheated on her, and he has to go through all this, and she has to go through all this, and her kids, and it's just a lot to take. It's a lot to realize. So. I think it's a shame, but what is not a shame is my main man Pang's Lifestrong Apparel. You can get treats for your dog. You can get a pound of raw wild crafted sea moss. You can get raw purple sea moss. You can get sea moss gel and even snapbacks with the Lifestrong Apparel on logo on the hat. So definitely check it out. And when you make your purchases and you go to the checkout line, make sure you put in Skyler10, SKYLER10, and you get 10% off all your purchases. And if there's any way you can contact him, make sure you tell him that the goofy guy, Sky Saunders, sent you. All right. Thank you very much for that. So, a paternity test. Could you imagine Jay-Z on Maury? I'm not going to do a rendition, but I'm just saying, could you imagine him sitting in there with Maury next to him, and he's saying, in the case of Rymir Satterthwaite, that would just be a total train wreck, But he wants a paternity test, but I don't think Jay-Z has to legally do it. I don't think that's legal. But the title of the Hot New Hip Hop article is Jay-Z faces paternity test lawsuit as legal woes continue. And I'm thinking Jay's the winner. But sadly, I always thought like he's too Teflon. He's too Teflon. Nothing sticks to this guy. He's kind of like Diddy in a way. Diddy was very close. I mean, Jay was close too with the whole attack stabbing Lance Rivera. That was very close too. That was around the same time too in 1999 at a club. So there's like certain parallels that are going on here in the story. What is different is, of course, the fact that Jay's he doesn't have any charges, and lawsuits seem very weak and flaky. they don't seem like they get to hold up in a courtroom. And anyway, it'll just be him giving money, which he can do. Okay, we'll set out of court. Here's $200K. Go about your way. You know, keep on moving, keep it pushing. I don't want nothing to do with you. That's what I can see is happening. What I also can see is happening is if you go to the channel BeeJackson 5478 Beha Jackson on YouTube. He has great conversation. I don't know if he drinks all near beer or non-alcoholic beer, but he definitely drinks some non-alcoholic beer, and he definitely has conversations of sardines on the grill, fried chicken, and female strippers. So if you like any or all of that content, make sure you tune in to his specific channel, which is B Jackson 5478 on YouTube. BeeJackson 5478. Okay, so Jay-Z has, the accuser has come forward. He's a struggling rapper, apparently. You know, he hasn't made it into the business. It's been, you know, years since he probably first started trying, and never realized how difficult it actually is, because everybody and their cousin wants to be a rapper. So you have to really be game tight, and it seems like he isn't up to snuff on that front. So for Jay-Z to have an ongoing idea he's got. I'm reading Rick James. He's got strippers, ladies of the night, if you will. They might take off a thing or two for a tip. Thank you, Rick James. I appreciate your viewership, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, sir. So what has to be, you know, discussed is definitely the fact that, you know, Jay-Z is that guy. He's the boss man. He's the boss. He is a boss. He's running things. He definitely has teams of lawyers and attorneys. You know, same thing, but accountants is what I'm going to say. He probably has at least 30 accountants, at least, maybe even more or a little bit less. But they have to account for everything that he does, and he probably pays them $2 to $5 million a year just to keep his taxes right, keep his estate together, keep all of his expenses together. That's the real meaning of it. That's the real meaning. So I think Jay-Z is going to be, you know, cleared. I can see. I don't see him being, you know, attached to this man. And what will it do? What is? They already say there's a statute of limitations when, you know, if you're over 18, that it doesn't really count. So what is he just trying to defame Jay-Z just to say, you know, knock him down a peg? Like, oh, you're too successful, so we have to, you know, besmirch your name. We have to, you know, call on you and say that you're a terrible human being because you didn't take care of me all those years. And my single mother had to take care of me, and she died, and all. You know, it just is so detrimental to everybody involved, to even the person that's accusing. It's a detriment because he's not realizing reality. He's not looking at the truth. He's not looking at facts. He's looking at what he feels. He's looking at his feelings. And that's one of the worst things you can possibly do when it comes to actual thought, is to get your emotions in the way. So I think they're gonna come after a whole lot of other people after this. You know, I think they're trying to make a Me Too effect on hip hop stars now, more so. other than just R. Kelly. They're really trying to go after the hip hop stars. So who's big enough for Jay-Z? Maybe I mean Pharrell raps. You can technically call him a rapper. You know, who's Pharrell? Ye. He said some things about the Jewish community that was very untoward. They completely dismissed him. I dismissed him. I've never listened to Vultures or Vultures 2, and I don't intend to listen to it. I don't support Ye anymore. I'm trying to think some. Well, Dr. Dre. This is the one. This is the irony. This is Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has been known to be a domestic violence, perpetrator. He's been known to hit people, hit women especially. Lee Barnes and other people, Michelle A, and then he comes out with a product called Beats. It's like, come on now, are you serious? Like, but that's what I think is the next one. He's probably next. Okay, next is Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, maybe that's a pretty good one. He's a boss. They're coming after him because of he used his relief funds to charter private jets and use it for various luxuries and different things like that, instead of paying for artists and different upkeep and things of that nature. So he could go down because of that. But Eazy-E is dead, sir. After I found out what Dr. Dre did, I put my son's beats into the garbage disposal. Well, they have, he's not guilty of it yet, so I'm still using my beats. Maybe when if he's found guilty of it, then I'll stop using my beats, because they work, and they stop working, now they work again. So that's the reality of that. But I'm trying to think, Master P, I think he's kept his nose clean a lot of years. His brother, sadly, or justly, C Murder is in prison, locked away for, you guessed it, murder. It's a real shame that so many people have to fall. Who's next? Who's up there? Who's on the tippy top of the hip hop scene? The main one. Oh, I know, Drizzy Drake. He tried to deny that he had a son. Then Pusha T exposed him. Now he has to promote that he had a son, that he was with him, and that he's going to take care of him. It's a bunch of nonsense. I have a feeling Ice Cube is next for Are We There Yet Alone. That was cute, Rick James. That was cute. Maybe Ice Cube, maybe, because he's a boss. He's a pretty big guy. What would be really sad if Snoop Dogg got taken down, again, because he was on trial for murder. Murder was the case that they gave him. So we have to really be on the lookout for that. Definitely have to be on the lookout for that. I think that it's incumbent upon the hip hop heads, the leaders, the ones that are most capable of achieving great fortunes and amassing vast amounts of wealth in this hip hop genre. I think it breeds a sense of envy. Why are they're just rapping? Why are they getting so much money? What is all that about? I should be making money. I should be having their money. That's the sad part. I was just about to go out, but I'll stay on for another half hour. Salute to King. Salute, sir. Peace up. Yeah, peace up to you, King. I see you. To King Hazy. OnlyFans Haze Your Eyes channel. What? It's YouTube channel, sir. Get it right, sir. Mr. Rick James. But what I think is so crucial is the fact that Jay-Z is doing this very almost out of step on what he's normally been doing, because he hardly goes on X. He's gone on X like I think 16 times in his total time, and he's been on there since like 2016 or maybe earlier, maybe 2012, something around there. And it used to be just SC, I think it was, but now he has Rock Nation on there, and he has a personal statement, and it's just so unbelievable. Yeah, yeah, you got to forgive Rick James. He's like the crazy uncle at the party. You got you got to give it to Rick James, to Mr. Rick James. Snoop Dogg, he says he's the nicest guy in the industry. And also, another person that he has kept his nose clean, I think, for his entire athletic career, as well as his musical and filmic pursuits, and his definite wide body of um, pursuits on the side of advertisements or advertisements. Shaq, Shaq, he kept his nose. He's keeping his nose clean, as I wipe my nose clean. No, but he's definitely kept his act together for decades, going back 30 years and more. And he's been like America's great go-to spokesman. He's at the top of the mound. He's definitely doing his thing. Snoop been a puppet though. 13X says Shaq next. They just haven't come for him yet. We shall see. What has Shaq done? I don't think Shaq has ever even been arrested before. I don't think he's ever had a charge against his name or anything. I don't think so. I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah. Shaq and Snoop and Master P are the main ones that I'm looking at, and Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. And if you want to throw in the white boy, Eminem, because Eminem was hiding stuff that wasn't criminal, but he had one record where he uses nigger in the song. "13X says these white people ain't trying to let no black man live." That's serious. I mean, it's not just the white people. It's black people and brown people and red people and yellow people. It's the same thing. It's human beings. They don't want to see progress. They don't want to see enjoyment of riches. They don't want to see advancement. It's all envy. We live in an age of envy, as Ayn Rand once pointed out. If somebody's got too much money or too much status or too much stature, they don't like that. There's a whole thing in Scandinavian culture. I'm looking it up right now. It's called Jantelligin. Why Swedes won't talk about wealth. They have if you have like a Volvo or back then when I had a Saab, but if you had a Saab or a Volvo, I was like, okay, they got those are good cars. You came through with a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce or a McLaren or something like that, it's getting keyed. Your tires are being flattened. It's complete envy. It's hatred of the good for being good. That's what it means to have envy. That's exactly what it means. The sense that we have people that are so much accustomed to a way of life that when they notice somebody else and their stack is higher and their dough is longer, they start to say, how dare he? How dare she? I can write, I can rap, I can sing, I can dance. What makes them so good? What makes them so great? And they hate them for being good. They hate them for being their virtues. That's the sad part. Not because of their vices, but because of their virtues. That's the real sad part. So yeah, that's what it's called. It's called gentelligin. So I think there is a disconnect. We don't caught that money over here. That's Hove. But the part that I think to stress is the reality of knowing that there are, so many different figures. Like I said, you can talk about the white boy, Eminem. He's amassed at least $150 million or something like that. Let me make sure I get it right. Eminem, well, he's worth $250 million. He's worth $250 million, allegedly, according to these sites. Who knows how much he really has, but I guess that's pretty close, if they calculate all the different things. But he could have something go against him. I'm not wishing it upon him, but it could happen. I mean, this is what these people are fishing for. This is what they're fishing for. They're trying to find the biggest fish they can possibly get and show it to the crowd, show it to the people, take pictures. Look what we caught. We caught a big fish. We caught a big one, And then there's the smaller fish, Young Thugs and the Little Dirks. They had their day in court, and Young Thug had his day in court. Little Dirk is still waiting, and behind bars. But I think it is crucial to point out how there's definitely a dismemberment of the truth. It's a dismemberment. It's broken up in different sections and pieces, and it doesn't really fit into the reality. So we have to really take into account the fact that we have so many figures. I mean, not even this is just this is hip hop's Me Too moment. The Me Too moment happened with journalists and older white men. Now they're like middle-aged black men. The huge stars, Diddy and Jay-Z. It just strikes me as something that is a detriment to our whole fabric of our culture, of our society. As long as we continue to do this, and this goes on, to CEOs. Diddy's a CEO, Jay-Z's a CEO. Brian Thompson of United Healthcare was a CEO. I mean, their lives matter, as the Ayn Rand Institute says. CEO lives matter. You're the two places you end up, either dead or in jail. That should not happen. That should not happen if you become a CEO of a company. But I know it's a different flavor, and I know it's a different set of circumstances and different context, in a sense, than someone shooting a CEO of the insurance arm of United Healthcare in cold blood and point blank range. That's different than rappers going to jail. I totally understand that. I'm just drawing the contrast between those two, because like I said, it's the hatred of wealth and the creation of wealth, and the hatred of people creating and doing and building things. They want everybody knocked down pegs. They want to print money just to say it and give it out to everybody, and have no value and have no worth and have no merit in doing that. They want to make sure everybody has the same amount of money, but that's evil. Equal is unfair. That's what Dr. Jerome Brooke and hold on. I always forget. Damn it. I know his name. Don Watkins. See, I can see Doctor, because it's all in my head. I can see the visual. Dr. Jerome Brook and Don Watkins. They cover that in their book. Equal is unfair, because it sure is. It's if you look at the Khmer Rouge. The Khmer Rouge was like, let's make everybody the same. And what does that mean? That means cutting down rather than building up, because you don't have time enough to build up. You don't have enough time to create and build wealth, on a level that's where everybody's equal. Even though how evil that is, what's even more evil is when you tear down, the tall trees, just to make sure that the smaller trees, feel good about themselves, I guess, in a sense. They literally, exterminated human beings. Millions of people died. Other people were put into, essentially internment camps. If you had glasses, you could be killed. You could be shot, because that's a sign that, oh, this person reads, or this person has some kind of level of intelligence. That's probably why, where glasses came from. Why people say, oh, you look very intelligent with your glasses on. Yeah, I guess I used to wear glasses too, but I don't really like the idea. I like the idea of you just wearing, glasses if you need to read something or if you can't see, and I just use contacts. So, but anyway, the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia, they wanted to eliminate as many people as they could that seemed to be of a higher stature. All the businessmen, all the businesswomen, all the people that had high marks in school, all the people that had greater advanced degrees, and different things like that. They were rounded up and killed, just in the name of equality. That's what people in egalitarianism. That's what it is. That's the reality of it. That's how sick and depraved all this really is. So that's what we have in America. America has a mentality of do it, and I can do it, and I will do it, and I have a chance to do it. But then there's a sense that, oh well, I can do it, but what about the guy next door? What about him? Can he do it? Can he achieve his goals? Why are you worried about your neighbor? Why are you worried about your arch enemy's goals? As the Bible puts it, you should love your neighbor. You should love your enemy as well. And why are you worried about their belongings and their wealth and their choices that they made in life, and that were greater than yours? Oh no, you have to tax them, tax the millionaires, tax the billionaires, so they can pay their fair share, whatever the hell that means. They pay their fair share by creating businesses. They pay their fair share by, giving people the opportunity to work. They pay their fair share just creating wealth. That's how they pay their fair share. Just like in the Fountainhead, there's this famous scene with the boy on the bike, and he stops and looks at the hero, Howard Rourke, and he essentially says, I'm not going to phrase it properly. I'm just going to paraphrase it. That he's like, don't tell me, what to do, or just tell me how to do it, or maybe how to do it and not what to do, or something like that. He was just saying, just in Howard Rourke is essentially like, you have to do it. Just like Nike, just do it. Just be on your own. Be independent. Be thoughtful. Be bloody minded, and create. That's essentially what it means. So I just am just flabbergasted at the nature of our different ways of continuing on with this mentality of Americanism, and then it being tainted with the idea of altruism, mysticism, collectivism, and altruism, and mainly altruism. Altruism is the one that has not yet completely been extracted. Like, we have mysticism and collectivism, but they're not like the same cultural force they were in the Dark Ages. Mysticism ruled, and there was no denying it. There was no fighting it. There was no way of getting out. By the time the Renaissance came, after the late 19th century, early 20th century, mysticism had pretty much fallen by the wayside. Had not been serious. People take it seriously today, in a sense. They have fun with it. They have jokes and ha ha he he when they talk about the different aspects of mysticism. But it's the same thing with collectivism. Ayn Rand said, collectivism died when World War II ended. We still have collectivist people. We still have people that are connected to each other, and saying that I have to look forward to somebody else's life instead of my own, and different things like that. That's the sad part about all of this. That really guts me, because it's just terrible. You should be individualistic. You should be your own person. You should be your own. You can't be anybody else. And they should put in that comics. It's like, or that phrase. I hope people really took it seriously, or take it seriously. I have to be myself. Everybody else is taken. That's a fact. You can't literally be anybody else. Even in, I think, 1,000 years, there will not be the technology to completely dissociate yourself from somebody else and then put yourself into somebody else's shoes. Thousands of years, we have not had a brain transplant. We tried to have that in science fiction on multiple occasions, I'm sure, but it still can't happen. But altruism is like leukemia. It's a type of cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow. So that's what it is. Altruism is like the disease that affects the blood. It's in us, and it's difficult to arrange, but we can get it rooted out of us. That we can take treatments, by being selfish and being self-interested. And that doesn't mean that you step on other people's toes to get your way, and it doesn't mean that you allow other people to step on your toes so they can get their way. It means that you treat them as a traitor. You treat them as somebody that is, very worthy of your attention and your time. I think that's the same thing with the case of Jay-Z. Jay-Z being blamed, being purported as being a father of this young guy, Rymir. Let me see, what is his name? Satterthwaite. That's just the tip of the iceberg. I think of the if you want to use it, the cliche. It's very sad to see somebody so seemingly so desperate. He's 31 years old, and he's the illegitimate son of a hip hop icon. I'm trying to think who else has at least $100 million in hip hop. Well, 50, I don't know how much he has, but he has a good amount of money, I'm sure. 50 is another one who's kept his nose clean since becoming famous. He's worth about $40 million. That's not bad. Around $40 million. He had at his height, he had $260 million. But I think he's getting it back with a vengeance now. But this is also, different. Yeah, this is Yahoo Finance. I would imagine they're pretty legitimate. I would imagine they're pretty much on course for being truthful and accurate in their estimations. But yeah, so he's a boss. The bosses, the CEOs, and that's the thing. That's the ugly part we see, with our different people that get. Oh well, Jay-Z. Oh well, Diddy. Oh well, 50 Cent. But Brian Thompson, he had ugly claims against, he denied claims and people lost their lives, and oh my God, it's so terrible. What? Like, he helped encourage life itself by selling insurance. People don't understand that. People don't understand that he was a great, opportunist, and I mean that in every sense of that's positive. He was an opportunist to make sure that people had the best life possible. And it's never, ever the government. Oh my God! Oh, we have to talk about the government. The government's so great. Government's wonderful. We all know that the government is broken and terrible because there are broken and terrible politicians within our government structure. That's the sad part. That's the part that galls me. Is to realize that when Brian Thompson is shot dead in the Manhattan outside of a hotel, and everybody cheers the murderer, the alleged murderer, the shooter, and at the same time all this is happening, you have Diddy just a few blocks away in the detention center. And it's like, oh, well, it's Diddy. He'll get out. He'll have lawyers or something. But this man's life was ended. Someone unalived him because of the fact that he is the head of an insurance company. And we have to remember, for every dollar that is spent in healthcare, 51 cents of it is spent by the government. That's a fact. We don't ever disparage the government to that extent. We don't disparage the government. We want more goodies. We want more handouts. Something like that. But to say that government should be removed completely from economics, that government should be removed especially from healthcare systems, no, that's no, you can't do that, man. No, that's just wrong. You can't do that. You can't have that. You can't make that work. Of course it can work. Just like the United States Postal Service. Get rid of it. Why do we have, people in charge, like Tim Cook is in charge of our phones and stuff like that in our lives. And Elon Musk is in charge of cars that we drive around the place. They're multi-billionaires. But when it comes to our postage, oh my God, it's got to be the government. Oh my God. But you have private companies that duke it out and that fight, and you say, hello, if this company doesn't prevail and do well with its sales and its ability to deliver parcels and packages on time, ahead of time, they'll go out of business, and then another business will step in. And that'd be great. You can't do that with the United States Postal Service. They can't go out of business until they're told to go out of business. They can lose packages. They can lose letters. They can lose all kinds of different parcel. And it's okay. It's the USPS. Why not? Forget it. So if the president-elect, Donald Trump gets rid of the USPS, fine. Thank you. I think UPS, FedEx, Amazon, and other DHL, all of them, they definitely could, be the best. Because that's the thing. It'll open up competition. There's no competition with the USPS. I mean, technically they compete with, UPS and FedEx and Amazon and stuff like that. But they can't go out of business until they're delivered outside the business. Until they're completely eliminated. I get worked up over this. Because I'm serious. I just wanted to have it. I'm saying what nobody else is saying. Or loudly, or on my program. Maybe somebody's saying something else that's similar to what I'm saying on their program, but I'm just had to, just let it be known. So I'm trying to talk softly. I get just so riled up. I just get really riled up because it pisses me off. It doesn't make sense. It just, when things don't make sense, I'm like, make it make sense, because it just pisses me off just to no end to realize. Hip hop stars like Jay-Z, is he the daddy? I mean, we can only see by a paternity test, but what is a paternity test at 31 years old? He's going to get a few crumbs from Jay. He'll chip them off for $10,000 a month or something crazy. Is that what's going to happen? Is that the truth? Is that what's reality? I'm just trying to find the right answers to all of these different things, because it just challenges me. I'm severely challenged. I'm mentally challenged. I don't understand how these things could even work themselves out like this. So, with the people that are evil and vicious and claim that the alleged shooter, Luigi Mangione, is on a par with, somebody like another horrible bloody rebel, Jose Guevara. They're gonna pick up T-shirts of Luigi Mangione. They're gonna print out T-shirts of him. He's innocent right now. He's innocent. He's not been proven guilty yet, but I can see T-shirts and banners and stuff like that all waving around. Woo! Woo! Look, he killed a CEO. Wow, great. Because they get paid so much. They get paid too much. Really? Some of them don't get paid enough, and they get paid tens of millions of dollars. These people getting paid hundreds of millions and billions. It's for the work. It's for their earnings. Earnings, keyword. They earned it. They deserve it. Keywords. They earn their platforms. Because it's a lot of work. We don't live in a free society. We live in a semi-free society. We live in a society where you have to go through 10 different regulatory agencies. You have to make sure you have the zoning laws in place. You have to make sure you have enough tax credit, or tax is, based on your business. You have to see how many regulations are still placed on your business. You have to see how many controls there are. I mean, it's a lot. If we lived in a free society, we wouldn't even be in that. I'm still surprised that we have Jeff Bezos and we have a Tim Cook and we have Elon Musk. That's amazing how they still, even through all of that, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Larry Ellison, I can go on, Michael Bloomberg, so many others. And they still were able to manage. Even the President-elect Donald Trump, he was even able to manage. That's extraordinary. I mean, to that extent, I mean, he's pretty much a horrible, evil human being, but he made something of himself. He made his, he used the wealth that was given to him, and tried to, I'm not going to try to praise him so much, but I'm just giving him the facts are facts. He made the best out of his situation, and that should be applauded. But I think with Jay-Z and this illegitimate son thing, it's just more headlines just to say, to scandalize his name. And he has one of the cleanest records ever. And he just focused on his music after the Lance on Rivera scenario. So I think he's going to pull through, without any dust on his shirt, Get the dust off your shoulders, Jay-Z. Got to get that dust off your shoulders. So I appreciate everybody who came through today. I'd like to give a salute to King, Mr. Mr. 13X, Mr. Rick James, and who else am I forgetting anybody else? That's the only ones that are worthy of being mentioned. So I appreciate you. I will see you maybe sometime later tonight. Maybe definitely tomorrow, but I'll see you soon. Take care.